So hi guys, welcome back to the first semi-final of this ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026. South Africa taking on New Zealand today. We have had a couple of days break after the Super 8, an intense T20 World Cup so far, and now we are down to the last 3 matches to see who is going to be crowned as the champions of this year's ICC Men's T20 World Cup. South Africa taking on New Zealand today. Tomorrow India will be taking on England. So it will be two exciting semi-finals. For the first time, South Africa are taking on New Zealand in an ICC Men's T20 World Cup semi-final. We have seen them clash against each other in Champions Trophy semi-finals and One Day International World Cup semi-finals as well. But this is the first time that both these teams are playing against each other in a Men's T20 World Cup semi-final. And so far, New Zealand have not beaten South Africa in a Men's T20 World Cup so far. So the head-to-head, at least in Men's T20 World Cups, is 5-0 in favour of South Africa. So South Africa will take that confidence coming into this game. Although this match is happening at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata, so I would say that New Zealand have won a very important toss and they have elected to bowl first. And that is because it becomes extremely hard to defend totals at this particular venue, Eden Gardens in Kolkata. The dew can also come in and it will assist the chasing team. So as far as New Zealand are concerned, they will be thinking first win is done. We'll win the toss and bowling first. And next we need to try and execute our plans. And I think that is what New Zealand will try to do. So we'll go through the team changes as well for today's game. So New Zealand have made one change. Jimmy Neesham coming into the playing 11 in place of Ish Sodhi. So they have brought in an all-rounder for Ish Sodhi. And as far as South Africa are concerned, Marco Jansen, Keshav Maharaj and Kagiso Rabada come into the playing 11 in place of George Linde, Andrik Nokia and Kwena Mapaka, and rightly so, because South Africa's previous match was against Zimbabwe. Their last game in the Super 8, so they just tried out a different combination in that game and still won the game. So today their main team is back. And South Africa are the only unbeaten team in this Men's T20 World Cup so far. So can they continue that unbeaten run and make it through to the final in Ahmedabad on Sunday? Because South Africa, remember, they are yet to be beaten in Ahmedabad. So if they make it through to the final, I think considering their record in Ahmedabad, they might start as favourites going into the final. So both the openers of South Africa making their way out to the middle. Aiden Markram and Quinton de Kock are opening the batting for South Africa as usual. And they will need to post a big total on the board if they want to win today's match, because it's very, very hard to defend totals at this Eden Gardens in Kolkata. So New Zealand have won a very, very important toss. And New Zealand also have the batters to chase down the total. So after a long time, South Africa are batting first. So it will be a challenge for them. No doubt about that. Quinton de Kock has been in good form. Aiden Markram has played some really good knocks with the bat so far. I think the last time South Africa batted first in this particular Men's T20 World Cup, they did defeat India by a huge margin, and there was a double super over as well against Afghanistan. Those were the 2 matches in which South Africa batted first. So Matt Henry has the new ball in his hand. He's going to be bowling the first over for New Zealand. It's an interesting clash this. New Zealand are yet to defeat South Africa in the Men's T20 World Cup so far, and South Africa are yet to defeat New Zealand in an ICC knockout match so far. So plenty to play for both teams. Here's Matt Henry, the first ball of semi-final number 1. Markram on strike. And that's flicked away by Markram towards deep mid-wicket and gets off the mark straight away with a single. Quinton de Kock is back on strike. Looks like a good batting wicket by the looks of it already. Ball coming onto the bat nicely for Aiden Markram. Both these teams are yet to win a World Cup so far, chasing their maiden World Cup title, both these teams. Meanwhile, you have India and England who will take on each other, two-time champions, both of them. That's again on a good length, looking to flick it away, gets it on the pads. Another dot ball from Matt Henry. Both these teams haven't won a World Cup so far, but they have won the World Test Championship once each. New Zealand were the World Test Champions in 2021, and South Africa are the current World Test Champions. So at least both these teams can be happy they have at least won it in the Test format. That's on the pads again, flicked away towards short mid-wicket. Another dot ball from Matt Henry. This time flicked away again by Quinton de Kock towards short mid-wicket. Another dot ball from Henry. Obviously, even though South Africa are the unbeaten team in this tournament, India are the team to beat in this tournament actually. Because even though they lost that one game, I feel again India is peaking at the right time, and again they are trying to spoil the party for the winner of this match. And de Kock goes big straight away, and that's gone all the way for 6. That's a massive shot from Quinton de Kock in the slot from Matt Henry, and de Kock deposits that one over deep mid wicket, the first 6 in this semi-final number 1. A lovely shot once again from Quinton de Kock. The last ball of the over coming up, and it's driven again by de Kock straight to covers, and another dot ball to finish the over. So 7 runs came from that over, and South Africa are now 7 without loss after 1 over. So there's an interesting bowling change here for New Zealand. Cole McConkie is the new bowler into the attack, into the bowling the second over of this innings. Straight away spin being introduced into the attack inside the power play. Aidan Markram is on strike. McConkie over the wicket, and Markram drives it down the ground to long on and picks up another single to start the over. So de Kock is back on strike, second ball of the over coming up. And this time it's punched to the back foot towards covers. Another dot ball from Cole McConkie. A very interesting move this actually, bowling McConkie the second over. And now de Kock comes down the wicket, gets it over mid-on, and that'll run away for 4 as well. Using his feet beautifully there, Quinton de Kock clearing that fielder at mid-on, and a first boundary for de Kock along with the 6 which he has hit. This time it's pulled away, high on the bat, taken at mid-on. First wicket for New Zealand. And the move to bring McConkie into the attack has worked dramatically for New Zealand here. Once again was looking to go for the pull shot, but unfortunately didn't get it properly, high on the bat. And Lockie Ferguson, the fielder at mid-on, safe underneath it, takes the catch. And that is exactly what New Zealand needed. They needed to break the opening partnership, and Quinton de Kock unfortunately falls. McConkie strikes, gets an important breakthrough. Quinton de Kock is gone after scoring 10 runs from 8 balls, and South Africa are now 12 for 1 after 1.4 overs. So the master stroke, whenever you make this kind of a move and it pays out, it pays off, it always looks like a master stroke, doesn't it? Cole McConkie striking for New Zealand. And now Ryan Rickleton is the new batter to the crease, coming in at number 3 for South Africa. Need something here. We need to get a good total at this venue, otherwise it becomes very, very tough to defend. And New Zealand have some quality batters. Make no mistake about that. They can chase down totals. Well, that's cut away in the air and straight to point. Another one goes. McConkie gets 2 and 2. And what a start this is for New Zealand. What an inspired bowling change from Mitchell Santner. Short and wide, Rickleton went for the cut, straight into the hands of point. And would you believe it? Cole McConkie is on a hat-trick. Ryan Rickleton has to go. And South Africa in early trouble here in the semi-final. The move to bring in a spinner in the second over has worked dramatically for New Zealand. Ryan Rickleton is out for a golden duck, and South Africa are now 12 for 2 after 1.5 overs. So Cole McConkie is on a hat-trick here. Hat-trick ball coming up. Dewald Brevis is the new batter to the crease. Oh my God, South Africa. He's on a hat-trick. An inspired bowling change from Mitchell Santner. And that is why we said that New Zealand have won an important toss at this particular venue, because we have seen 262 getting chased down at this venue in the IPL. So it becomes a nightmare for the bowlers in the second innings. Minimum 200 plus is compulsory, otherwise teams batting first, it becomes very, very tough to defend. So McConkie is on a hat-trick. We have already had a hat-trick in this tournament. Romario Shepherd took a hat-trick against Scotland. Can we see another one? Last ball of the over, hat-trick ball. And that's edged, no slip. And that races away for 4. How lucky was that? If only there had been a slip in place. Could have carried to the fielder, but not to be. Dewald Brevis gets off the mark with a boundary to finish that over. 9 runs came from that over, including 2 wickets. And South Africa are now 16 for 2 after 2 overs. So Matt Henry continuing into his second over. That's a full delivery. Markram drives it down the ground to towards covers. Again a dot ball to start the over. I mean, South Africa need to find a way to get through these knockout games. You cannot afford to keep on losing semi-finals and finals like this. But I've always thought that New Zealand are the dark horses in this tournament. They cannot be taken lightly. Many people don't give them an opportunity. Many people don't give them a chance in these World Cups. That's on the pads, flicked away. It's off the pads, I think, or is it off the bat? It's given as a wide. Wide plus the boundary, so 5 extra runs to the total conceded by Matt Henry. Oh, that's on the pads again. Markram going for the flick shot. Unable to make connection. Another dot ball from Matt Henry. Many people were talking about India versus South Africa final once again in the T20 World Cup. First of all, people need to understand, need to focus on the present. Live in the present moment. You still need to win a semi-final here to make it to the final. People always jump the gun. They always want conclusions. They always want World Cups. They forget about the present moment. What if New Zealand wins today? Why don't you give a chance to New Zealand to win? Seriously, I don't know what to tell about that, but another single here for Aiden Markram. So could we see New Zealand beating South Africa for the first time in men's T20 World Cup history today? As considering that South Africa are batting first and struggling a little bit here, New Zealand are ahead currently. And South Africa need to build a partnership if they want to get out of this rut. That's back of the length again, and that's defended down the ground to mid-on, and another dot ball from Matt Henry. This time it's full again, and Brevis drives it towards mid-on. Another dot ball from Matt Henry. The 6 runs have come from this over. Still 1 ball left. That's what I was telling time and time and again. South Africa haven't beaten New Zealand in an ICC knockout match so far. They've played against each other 3 times before this. World Cup 2011 quarterfinals, then the Men's Cricket World Cup 2015 semi-finals, and then the Champions Trophy semi-finals as well last year in 2025. All 3 occasions New Zealand have beaten South Africa. So you cannot write New Zealand off in these World Cups. People don't consider New Zealand as the front runner to win any World Cups, but they are not far away. They are going to win the World Cup in the near future. New Zealand are going to win. South Africa are also going to win. Because if they keep competing like this, then they will surely win a World Cup in the future. No doubt about that. You eliminate India, Australia and England, South Africa and New Zealand will be the front runners to win World Cups. 6 runs came from that over from Matt Henry, and South Africa are now 22 for 2 after 3 overs. Lockie Ferguson now is the new bowler into the attack, and straight away Aiden Markram drives it down the ground to mid-on for a dot ball to start the over. Many people keep on calling South Africa and New Zealand as chokers because they are not able to win these World Cups. I just want to let the viewers know South Africa and New Zealand are not the best teams in international cricket. The best teams in international cricket are India, Australia and England. Please keep that in your mind. So unless you eliminate all 3 of them, South Africa and New Zealand can't win a World Cup. You need to eliminate the 3 best teams in international cricket history if you want to win a World Cup. So, and South Africa and New Zealand can defeat any other team. But India, Australia and England are always a thorn in their flesh. Eliminate all three of them, and after that, if these two teams don't win a World Cup, call them chokers, call them whatever you want. But without those three teams getting eliminated, these two teams can't win a World Cup, because whatever it is, South Africa and New Zealand are below India, Australia and England. You need to understand that first. 3 consecutive dot balls to start the over. The people, they are always quick to criticize all these teams. Every team can't be the best team in international cricket. There is a reason why India, Australia and England are winning World Cups. You eliminate all three of them, then talk, then win a World Cup. Why do you, even when one of those three teams are alive in the tournament, it becomes difficult for these two teams to win a World Cup. That is the reality. That's driven beautifully by Markram through the covers, and that'll run away for 4. So first boundary for Aiden Markram, and it's a lovely shot there through mid-off, and he picks up his first boundary in this innings. Fifth ball of the over coming up. That's flicked away by Aiden Markram towards mid-on and picks up another single. So just because these two teams haven't won a World Cup, that doesn't mean that these two teams are bad teams. They have won the Test Championship. They are the Test champions. New Zealand were the 2021 Test champions. South Africa are the current Test champions. So they have won ICC tournaments. But India, Australia and England are always the dangerous teams in every tournament. You need to eliminate those three teams. Only then these two teams can win a World Cup. But that doesn't mean that these two teams are bad teams. Some people always evaluate teams based on the number of trophies they have won. But they forget the reality in doing so. That's guided away again towards deep point, and Dewald Brevis picks up another single to finish the over. 6 runs came from that over, and South Africa are now 28 for 2 after 4 overs. Then I would also ask that Sri Lanka, Pakistan and West Indies have also won World Cups. So do they become the best teams in international cricket now? I'm just asking. No, right. They are going through a downfall. They are going through a decline. They are nowhere even close to winning a World Cup now. So just because a team has won World Cups, that doesn't make them the best team. Just because they have not won World Cups, that does not degrade any team. India, Australia and England are the big three. They are the 3 best teams in international cricket history. So they are always, all those 3 teams will always start as favourites coming into any World Cup or any ICC tournament. And that is the reason why these two teams haven't won. You need to rationalize certain things. People are always quick to criticize and jump to conclusions. They don't think rationally. That is a huge problem. Jimmy Neesham is the new bowler into the attack for New Zealand. And that's punched away by Dewald Brevis towards covers. Picks up another single to start the over. Aiden Markram is back on strike. Current run rate now 6.96. It's a good start here from the New Zealand bowlers. Obviously, Jimmy Neesham was part of that 2019 World Cup final in which they unfortunately lost in the super over against England. So probably it will be his final few World Cups. He'll be wanting to win a World Cup for his country, no doubt about that. That's a wide down the leg side. Has to reload that one again. You look at all the finals which New Zealand have lost in cricket history. 2015 World Cup final, New Zealand lost against Australia. 2019 World Cup final, New Zealand lost against England. Last year Champions Trophy final, New Zealand lost against India. It's always those 3. It's always those 3 who are stopping you. If you eliminate those 3, then no problem at all. But until those three are alive in a tournament, they always are the favorites. We see another dot ball from Jimmy Neesham. Even 2009 Champions Trophy final, New Zealand made it to the final, lost to Australia. So it's always India, Australia and England. It's always those three. They are the biggest problems. They are only making these teams chokers. You need to understand that. You need to beat those three teams. Australia are already out of this tournament, but India and England are playing tomorrow. One of them is going to come to the final to hurt you. That is the big problem. Third ball of the over coming up. That's flicked away by Markram. Over deep mid wicket for 6. Wonderful flick of the wrist there by Aidan Markram. Clearing deep mid wicket. And picks up his first 6 in this innings. Full and angling onto the pads there, Jimmy Neesham. Easy pickings for Markram. And this time it's punched again down the ground by Markram towards long on and picks up another single. Such a sad thing, isn't it? Nowadays, even making the finals is not considered as a good achievement. If you don't win the cup, you are considered as a choker. I mean, in Olympics, we have gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal. If only we had something like that in a World Cup, then even the team that makes the finals can be happy with what they have achieved. But unfortunately, there can only be one champion. And that one champion does not necessarily need to be the team which you want to become the champion. That's driven again through the covers and that'll run away for 4. Beautiful shot once again from Dewald Previs. Ends the over with a boundary. So good over. A much better over for South Africa here. 13 runs came from that over. And in fact, still one more delivery left. Because there was a wide of the second ball. So still one more delivery left. But an outstanding shot from Previs. This time again, beautifully driven through mid-off for 4 more. Back-to-back boundaries to finish the over. Expensive over from Jimmy Neesham. 17 runs came from that over. And South Africa are now 45 for 2 after 5 overs. So New Zealand picked up a couple of wickets but cannot afford to relax because they need to keep taking wickets. South Africa do bat deep. They have a good middle order as well. We saw in the game against India, South Africa lost 3 early wickets and then recovered and got themselves to 187. So they can do those kind of things. Lockie Ferguson now into his second over. Aidan Markram on strike. And that's defended again towards covers. And Aidan Markram picks up another single. Another thing which people need to understand, teams do not win trophies according to people's hurry or people's convenience. Teams will keep on putting in the hard work. They will win when their own time comes. Other people cannot try to fast track team's success. That won't happen. You need to always trust the process. And that is where I think most people fail. You guys want South Africa to win a World Cup? They should win the World Cup now itself. That won't happen like that. You need to have the patience first. You need to go through the failures. You need to wait. It will come one day. Who are all these people to be in a hurry for teams' achievements? The teams are playing. They are putting in the hard work. They are giving their best. They will win according to their own convenience. Why do people criticize them so much? I need to understand that first. So it's always important to trust the process and have some patience while watching these games. That's on the path, flicked away by Brevis towards short mid wicket. Another dot ball from Lockie Ferguson. So just one run from this over. Good over so far. Good start to this. Good start to his spell here, Lockie Ferguson. Obviously, New Zealand used a lot of spinners in Colombo in their previous few matches. But today it's a batting paradise, so might as well use the pacers. It's not going to assist spin that much. That's punched away again by Dewald Brevis towards covers. Another dot ball from Lockie Ferguson. So 2 more deliveries left in this over. Just 1 run coming from this over so far. Oh, that's a wide down the leg side. Lockie Ferguson has to reload that one again. It's a good battle here between these two teams. South Africa and New Zealand always love to play against each other in these big World Cups. This time it's cut away by Dewald Brevis towards deep point, and Brevis picks up another single. The last time these two teams clashed against each other in a T20 World Cup was in this same T20 World Cup group stage, where South Africa managed to defeat New Zealand easily, but obviously in that game South Africa were chasing in Ahmedabad. Today they are having to bat first, and that is the hardest task at Eden Gardens. South Africa have already lost a semi-final at this venue, the 50-over World Cup semi-final in 2023. They lost against Australia, so not good memories for them. Here, as we see another dot ball, extra bounce for Lockie Ferguson is appealing, but it is not out. So just 3 runs came from that over, and South Africa are now 48 for 2 after 6 overs after the launch phase, and it's also the time for the drinks break. So we come to the end of the drinks break, and there's a bowling change here for New Zealand. Mitchell Santner bringing himself into the attack. He's a superb bowler, no doubt about that. Can the winner of this game defeat the winner of India versus England and win the World Cup? That will be something historic, because that team is going to be a very dangerous team, whoever comes to the final. Winner of tomorrow's semi-final again between India and England. But at the moment, need to focus on this game. Mitchell Santner now. Dewald Brevis on strike. So Mitchell Santner coming around the wicket to Dewald Brevis. And straight away a good delivery, dot ball to start the over. This time punched again, straight to the fielder at covers. Another dot ball from Santner. Back-to-back dot balls to start this over. This time Dewald Brevis swings it down the ground to long on and picks up another single. So South Africa look like struggling here, big time. They have only made it to the final once in Men's T20 World Cup history, the previous final against India in 2024. That's again off the pads, picks up the single. 50 comes up for South Africa. 50 comes up in 6.4 overs at the loss of 2 wickets. So one leg bye is there for Aiden Markram. Quicker ball again, cut away by Dewald Brevis towards deep extra covers and picks up another single. Good over here from Santner, just 3 runs coming from this over, still 1 ball left. Last ball of the over. And it's cut away again. Oh, it's through the infield towards deep extra covers. And picks up another single to finish the over. 4 runs came from that over, and South Africa are now 52 for 2 after 7 overs. I just want to ask many viewers, how many of you want England to win tomorrow against India? You really want to knock India out, right? So there's another bowling change. Rachin Ravindra is the new bowler into the attack. Bowled really well in the previous 2 matches in Colombo, but these are batting friendly conditions. So it's going to be a challenge for someone like Rachin Ravindra. Aiden Markram is on strike, and maybe this is the over they'll look to target. Wide down the leg side from Ravindra. Has to reload that one again. Obviously, though, at some point you want South Africa or New Zealand to break these knockouts jinx in World Cups. At some point you want them to do it. Because even Australia now in the last few ICC tournaments, they are also going through a transition phase. So they are also not able to come close to winning a World Cup. After 2023 World Cup win, Australia have been nowhere close. South Africa and New Zealand still searching for their first World Cup trophies. And England has also not been consistent. I mean, they won the T20 World Cup in 2022, but after that, even they have been a little up and down. So suddenly, if you look at cricket as a whole, it seems as though only India is winning every single tournament. It seems as though only India is a stable team. All the others are going through ups and downs. You look at India and you feel this team is literally now unbreakable. That is what you get a feeling, because imagine two teams not able to win a World Cup. First of all, two teams are always making it to semi-finals and final. Inevitably, they are losing either in the semi-final or final. And then you have Australia and England, where Australia now in T20 cricket, they are going through a slump. And then you have England in ODI cricket, they are suffering. In T20 cricket also, yeah, they have done well in this World Cup, but still no guarantees that they will defeat India. So suddenly now, I don't know whether I am getting a feeling that there is no competition now for India in world cricket. I don't know whether to say that, but that is becoming a truth. You are not able to look at a team and believe that they will beat India in a particular tournament. Unfortunately, it's reached that stage. Now, unless India are actually beaten in an ICC tournament and actually get knocked out, it's very, very hard to believe that a team will really beat India. As we see, Dewald Brevis goes leg side again towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single. So actually world cricket, yes, we are looking at teams like Zimbabwe, Afghanistan, and we are saying that, okay, we are seeing some teams developing, trying to develop. Sri Lanka, Pakistan and Zimbabwe are going, Sri Lanka, Pakistan and West Indies are going through a downfall. So I don't know what to say. That's down the ground, long on. Has he taken it? He has, I think. Has he? I think he has. Daryl Mitchell takes the catch. Then Rachin Ravindra strikes. They're going to have a look at the fairness of the catch, I think. Umpires have gone upstairs to the third umpire here. Has it been taken cleanly? South African fans watching. They're struggling here in another semi-final. Remember, South Africa have never beaten New Zealand in a semi-final so far, or a final in ICC knockouts. That looks like a clean catch actually. That looks like a very, very clean catch from Daryl Mitchell. Is it? Or has it been grounded? I think it has. It looks like it has been grounded, because after he catches it, for a moment it looks like the ball has hit the ground and then come back into his hands. So that should be not out is what I am thinking. But South Africa not looking comfortable here, and at this venue you need to get 200 plus if you want to win the game. Decision pending on the big screen. Out is the decision. I thought for a moment the ball had hit the ground, but the umpire thought otherwise. So a struggling knock from Aiden Markram comes to an end. 3 down now. South Africa, New Zealand on top here in this semi-final. South Africa unbeaten till now, but struggling in a semi-final. And Aiden Markram, the captain, is on his way after scoring 18 runs from 20 balls, and South Africa are now 55 for 3 after 7.4 overs. So what is happening here to South Africa? Current run rate 7.17. They've lost 3 wickets already. They were in a similar kind of a situation against India as well, when these two batters came together and formed a big partnership to take South Africa to a defendable total, and they won that match convincingly. And once again, these two batters have to do it here on the biggest of occasions in a semi-final. You need these two teams to win a World Cup actually. I personally want one of these two teams to win a World Cup as soon as possible in men's cricket. Yes, they have won the World Test Championship, but you want one World Cup. You want at least one World Cup from these two teams. Such good teams, but they are not able to win that World Cup which they want. Ravindra around the wicket to Miller, and Miller goes down the ground to long off. One bounce to long off, and David Miller gets off the mark with a single. I'm saying that I want one of these teams to. I'm saying that I want one of these two teams to win a World Cup, but I will never criticize them or troll them after losing. Many other people will do that. They always love to criticize teams and troll teams. If they are not winning now, they will win in the future. Where are these teams running away? They are going to play every World Cup, right? They are not running away anywhere. They are here to keep on trying and they will win it someday. That's driven again by Dewald Brevis towards covers. Another dot ball to finish the over. In fact, they have taken the single, have they? I think they have taken the single. So 5 runs came from that over, including the wicket of Aidan Markram. And South Africa are now 57 for 3 after 8 overs. India needs to get knocked out actually if you want to win a World Cup. I thought West Indies would defend 197 or 196 was the target in the previous game. West Indies had defended that. India could have gotten knocked out and can breathe a huge sigh of relief, because a team of that domination that gets eliminated, it's a huge relief, but unfortunately not to be. As Brevis goes big, goes miles back, over deep mid wicket for 6. Too short on that occasion from Mitchell Santner. And Dewald Brevis, a clean striker of the ball, and an important 6 here for South Africa. Second ball of the over. That's driven away again by Brevis towards deep extra covers and picks up another single. Seven runs from the first 2 balls of this over. It's again up to these two batters, like what they did against India and Ahmedabad in the Super 8. They need to revive this innings here. Try and take South Africa to a defendable total. But still, again, because of these Indian conditions, it becomes very, very hard to defend totals. We see time and again, we see in the IPL in these conditions how tough it is to bowl second and defend totals. Similar thing is happening in this T20 World Cup as well. Although we have seen some totals being defended at times, Sri Lankan conditions are much better when it comes to T20 cricket, because there in conditions like Colombo or Palakili, it's not a 200 kind of a wicket. Even 150, 160 will be challenging to chase. And we have seen those totals getting defended in this World Cup as well. But in these Indian conditions, it's so batting friendly that the pressure is so much on the batting team to score 200 while batting first. Because anything less than 200, psychologically it looks chaseable. That's too wide, I think. No, it's not given as a wide. It's a dot ball from Santner. And when a team starts to think that way, I mean the teams batting first I'm talking about, if they start to keep and say to themselves that okay, we need to score 200, only then we can win. If you think 200, then there's a very likely possibility of falling short of 200 as well, because Psychology works that way actually in this particular game. If you think of 160 or 170 initially and then you push more, you might end with 200 plus. But if you straight away think 200 plus, then that puts even more pressure, and in that pressure you will fall short of the 200 run mark. So it's all about mindset actually. That's driven away again by David Miller, who has deep extra covers and picks up another single to finish the over. 10 runs came from that over, and South Africa are now 67 for 3 after 9 overs. So current run rate now 7.44. South Africa still struggling here. Rachin Ravindra again bowling well for New Zealand. What a bowler he has been. Even in these Indian conditions, he is able to take wickets. Picked up the big wicket of Markram. And now coming around the wicket to David Miller. But Miller goes up in the air. Deep extra covers. Oh, puts it down. Goodness gracious. Glenn Phillips of all people, such a great fielder, not able to hold on to the catch. One of the best fielders in the New Zealand team is Glenn Phillips. It's a simple catch according to his standards. Don't know how he put that down. Another couple of runs for another couple of runs for Miller to start the over, and could that be costly for New Zealand? We have seen quite a few dropped catches in this tournament already. That's driven away again by Miller towards deep extra covers and picks up another single. You should not drop a player like Miller. He is very, very dangerous. Now that catch drop, is it going to prove costly? Surely these two batters are looking to go after Ravindra. Third ball of the over. And there you go. That's what I was talking about. Brevis clears the boundary. They're surely looking to go after Ravindra. Miller almost got out, but Brevis hitting it cleanly once again. Clears long on and picks up his second six in this innings. Well, South Africa have lost 4 finals against India before this. Or if you want to combine men and women's cricket, South Africa have lost 3 finals in women's cricket and or 4 finals in women's cricket and 1 final in men's cricket. And all of those, one of those final defeats was against New Zealand, that Women's T20 World Cup of 2024. But all the other final defeats have come against India. So are South Africa trying to say, you know what, if we go in the final and play against India, they might defeat us once again. So might as well go out in the semi-final. Why even take that risk? Has driven away again towards deep extra covers. And Brevis picks up another single. Because it looks like this is India's time to win all these tournaments. And no other team is even able to stop that. Unless England do something miraculous tomorrow. And that will be a huge thing which happens in this World Cup if you are able to eliminate India. Last ball of the over. And Miller goes in the air again. Now this could be a wicket here. Fielder settling himself. Takes the catch at long off. Daryl Mitchell again taking the catch. And another wicket goes down here for South Africa. Once again, Miller mistiming it. He got a lifeline. Glenn Phillips put him down in the same over. And once again, Miller looking for the maximum there. Not able to time it. Mitchell taking the catch. Rachin Ravindra picks up his second wicket. He has been one of the best bowlers for New Zealand in this tournament. Because if you are able to bowl like this in Indian conditions, then nothing better than that. And New Zealand are right on top of this game at the moment. 10 runs came from that over, including the wicket of David Miller. Miller is gone after scoring a run of ball 6. And South Africa are now 77 for 4 after 10 overs at the halfway mark of this innings. Sanju Samson played a really good knock against West Indies, but it's very tough to defend totals at this venue. You also need to feel for West Indies that day. They lost an important toss. Imagine Punjab Kings, they chased down 262 at this same venue in the IPL. Highest ever run chase in T20 cricket, overall T20 cricket history. The highest ever run chase came at this venue, Eden Gardens, Kolkata. I don't think you can ever repeat that kind of a run chase once again, but imagine chasing 262. That shows how difficult it is to defend totals at this particular venue. And that is why the toss plays a very important role. Tristan Stubbs is the new batter to the crease for South Africa here. You know what? I will say, even if you are not able to win this T20 World Cup, I want to dream big. I want to win the 50 over World Cup. Then people can't say a word actually. Because nothing is bigger than the 50 over World Cup. I want to dream big. I want to look at that picture. If India wins this World Cup, let them keep winning these T20 World Cups. I will win the 50 over World Cup. Jimmy Neesham now went to his second over. And Brevis punches it back to the bowler. Dot ball to start the over. Because even if you look at India, even though they are winning all these tournaments, they haven't won the 50 over World Cup since 2011. So they are also having some problems in 50 over World Cups. They are also having some problems. They lost 2 WTC finals. So they are not able to win. You need to keep that in mind. So can defeat India in those tournaments. That's driven in the air and taken at covers. Another one goes. It's just falling apart here for South Africa at the moment. You have to feel for them. Once again, losing wickets in clusters. Dewald Brevis is also walking back. 2 wickets in quick succession. Both the set batters have been dismissed here. Half the side now back in the hut for South Africa. I've always felt this actually. I don't mind losing to New Zealand rather than going to the final and losing against India. Maybe that is the strategy for South Africa actually. Jimmy Neesham strikes for New Zealand. And South Africa are absolutely falling apart at the moment. Dewald Brevis is gone after scoring 34 from 27 balls. And South Africa are now 77 for 5 after 10.2 overs. So we are coming down to the last few batters here for South Africa. Tristan Stubbs has some responsibility here. Marco Jansen and Corbin Bosch to come in after this. There's some batting left, but they're running out of batters. Too many wickets going down for South Africa here. And is New Zealand going to make it to another T20 World Cup final? They made it to the final in 2021. Lost out against Australia there. And they're on the cusp of making it to another final if they can win this. And then I just hope that England can eliminate India tomorrow in the semi-final to make the tournament more interesting. Third ball of the over coming up from Jimmy Neesham. As flicked away by Marco Jansen, gets off the mark with a single. I am sure this is a tactic from South Africa. Yes, many people will call South Africa as chokers. But I would rather lose to New Zealand and go back. I will go back with dignity. I don't want to lose to India in the final once again. I don't want another India versus South Africa final once again. If India needs to win the World Cup, let them win it without South Africa in the final. Let them defeat some other opposition. I don't care about that. I don't want India versus South Africa final. I'm very clear about that. So in a way, I'm happy if South Africa loses today. And I am coming for the 50-over World Cup next year in 2027. I want to dream big. Why this T20 World Cup? I will go for 50 overs. You guys win the T20 World Cup how much ever times you want. As driven down the ground by Tristan Stubbs towards long on and gets off the mark with a single as well. I am not at all disappointed if South Africa loses today, because if they make it to the final and lose again, it will hurt a lot. So it's a good thing actually if they lose today. 2 more deliveries left in this over. Marco Jansen is back on strike. Oh, that's edged down towards third man, deep third man. Good fielding there, and Marco Jansen picks up another single. So 1 more delivery left in this over. Tristan Stubbs is back on strike. They need a partnership here. Now why I'm saying is all these World Cups are happening in India. So India are always the overwhelming favorites. You take the World Cup outside India, put it in overseas conditions, and there India can't dominate like how they are dominating in India. The next 50-over World Cup is going to happen in South Africa, and those conditions will keep on changing. Just like how it is in Colombo, the conditions will be very unpredictable. It will keep on changing. There I feel India will get exposed, and there I feel India might lose out. That is what I am thinking, because all these World Cups are happening in India. Women's World Cup 2025 happened in India. The Men's World Cup of 2023, yes, India lost that final in 2023 against Australia, but still India dominated in that tournament till the semi-final because it happened in India. And now again they are threatening to win this World Cup because this World Cup is also happening in India. So you need to take the World Cup and put it in England or Australia or South Africa. And there I want to see India whether they are dominating like what they are dominating in their own home conditions. Seriously, I want the World Cup taken outside India first. Then only they will get exposed. Rachin Ravindra now went to his 3rd over. And South Africa now 80 for 5 after 11 overs. Marco Jansen on strike. That's a quick ball and punch down the ground by Marco Jansen towards long on. And picks up another single to start the over. Because I have seen a lot of times actually the Indian team always play well at home, but when they play in overseas conditions, they are always vulnerable, very vulnerable in overseas conditions. They cannot dominate like this in South Africa or in Australia or in England. India cannot be the overwhelming favorites in those conditions. They are overwhelming favorites only because the World Cups are happening in India. And in home conditions, we all talk about home track bullies, home ground bullies. Maybe, obviously, India have also won a few World Cups. In 2007 T20 World Cup was won in South African conditions. India won it in South African conditions. But more often than not, if you see 2011 World Cup, India won in India. In home conditions, India won. 2015 World Cup, they couldn't win in Australia. 2019 World Cup, they couldn't win in England. 2023 World Cup, they dominated because it happened here. That is why it's very, very important to take the World Cup outside India first. If you want to see, if you want India to get knocked out. That's driven down the ground again by Marco Jansen towards long off and picks up another single. If India really play like how they are playing here, if they really play like this in overseas conditions, salute to them. They deserve to win the World Cup. You play like this in South African conditions and show me next year. That's driven down the ground again to long off. And Tristan Stubbs, another single. So good over again from Rachin Ravindra. Just 4 runs coming from this over. Still 1 ball left. So New Zealand squeezing things here. Last ball of the over coming up. Goes for a sweep. Straight to square leg. Doesn't take the single. Another dot ball to finish the over. 4 runs came from that over. And South Africa are now 84 for 5 after 12 overs. So already the criticisms have started to pour in my own social media about South Africa, but I am happy actually. Mitchell Santner now into his 3rd over. Around the wicket to Tristan Stubbs. And it's driven again straight to covers. Again a dot ball to start the over. Time cut away by Tristan Stubbs towards deep extra covers and picks up another single. Marco Jansen is back on strike. This time is driven down the ground again by Jansen towards long off and picks up another single. Obviously New Zealand won an important toss today, it has to be said. Winning the toss and bowling first, because as predicted these conditions are very tough for chasing. These conditions are very tough to defend totals. That's flicked away again by Tristan Stubbs towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single. South Africa can still revive themselves from here. These two batters are trying to do something. Marco Jansen can still play big shots. We all know that. Tristan Stubbs as well. Jansen goes for the reverse sweep. It's towards short fine leg. Another dot ball from Santner. One more delivery left in this over. Last ball of the over coming up. Oh, that's edge past the keeper and that'll run away to the boundary as well. Fortune favours the brave and Marco Jansen picks up his first boundary here, a boundary to finish the over. 7 runs came from that over and South Africa are now 91 for 5 after 13 overs. So 7 more overs left in this innings. At the moment it is looking like New Zealand are in control. But can South Africa make a comeback from here? Rachin Ravindra now into his last over. What a bowler he has been. Okay, we all thought, okay, the previous two matches were in Colombo, so he bowled well. Now in Kolkata, in batting-friendly conditions, Rachin Ravindra has bowled really well so far. Into his last over, Tristan Stubbs on strike. Ravindra is bowling like a proper bowler actually. We all thought he's a proper batsman. We can make him as an all-rounder, I think. That's driven down the ground by Stubbs. Towards long off and picks up another single. The Women's T20 World Cup will be starting in June this year, and New Zealand are the defending champions of the Women's T20 World Cup. How proud it is for them. If they can win this tournament, it will be a double delight. That's a huge hit here from Jansen. That's all the way. Clears long on. All the way for 6. Beautifully using his feet, Marco Jansen. He's a big hitter of the ball and he picks up his first 6 in this innings. This time Jansen flicks it away towards deep mid-wicket and picks up another single. Current run rate now 7.33. Oh, in the air and doesn't carry to the keeper. Stubbs looking to flick it away there. There's another dot ball here. What a spell this has been once again from Rachin Ravindra. Almost another wicket there. It's cut away again by Stubbs towards covers. And picks up another single. 100 comes up for South Africa here. 100 comes up in 13.5 overs at the loss of 5 wickets. Brilliant batting from both these batters. Still one more delivery left in this over. The last ball of the over coming up. And that's punched down the ground by Jansen towards long on and picks up another single to finish the over. 10 runs came from that over. And South Africa are now 101 for 5 after 14 overs. And it's also the time for the drinks break. So we come to the end of the drinks break. Lockie Ferguson into his third over. 4 singles in this over so far. Still 2 balls left. That's full again. Driven again. Good fielding at covers. And Tristan Stubbs picks up another single. So Tristan Stubbs hasn't hit a boundary so far. Marco Jansen with 1 boundary and 1 6. Oh dear, it's a no ball. No ball and a free hit. That could be costly here. Lockie Ferguson has overstepped. And Marco Jansen will be on strike for the free hit. Free hit delivery coming up. Oh, brilliantly bowled again. Jansen can only hit it towards mid-off and picks up another single. Two more deliveries left in this over. Tristan Stubbs is back on strike. This time it's on the pads, flicked away by Stubbs towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single. One more delivery left in this over. 7 runs from this over so far. Last ball of the over coming up. Oh, that's a short ball. Goes for the pull. Unable to make connection. This is another good over for New Zealand. Just 7 runs came from that over. And South Africa are now 108 for 5 after 15 overs. The 5 more overs left in this innings. Mitchell Santner is into his last over. That's cut away again by Marco Jansen towards deep extra covers and picks up another single. So many people never give New Zealand a chance. New Zealand look like they're bossing this game at the moment. It's not going to be enough to defend these kind of totals in these Eden Gardens conditions. In fact, Stubbs picked up the single first ball. Second ball defended back to the bowler by Jansen. Another dot ball here. Oh, that's too wide. Too wide outside the off stump from Mitchell Santner. Has to reload that one again. Extra run, extra ball. This time a quicker delivery flicked away by Marco Jansen towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single. Oh, a quicker ball again, going for the flick shot. It's towards point. Another dot ball from Santner. 3 runs have come from this over. Still 2 balls left. Oh, that's too wide. Too wide from Santner. Second wide in this over. The runs are coming only through extras now. Needs some big shots here. South Africa at the moment only taking singles. Quicker delivery driven by Stubbs towards covers. Another dot ball. Four runs have come from this over. Still one ball left. Last ball of the over coming up. And that's driven again towards covers. And Tristan Stubbs picks up another single to finish the over. 5 runs came from that over. And South Africa are now 113 for 5 after 16 overs. Many people will be wondering today what happened to the South African team. They have been dominating throughout this tournament so far, but now suddenly the batting has fallen apart in a knockout match. I tell you what, South Africa need to change their captain first. Aiden Markram shouldn't be the captain for any ICC tournaments going forward. They need to change their captain and make another person as the captain who is capable of winning World Cups. Only then South Africa will win. They need to follow this. They need to do this as soon as possible. Because Aiden Markram can't win a World Cup. I know that. Matt Henry now back into the attack. That's a full delivery and Tristan Stubbs drives it down the ground to long on and picks up another single to start the over. Aiden Markram is a good player, but unfortunately he cannot win a World Cup. Only I know that secret. So South Africa need to change Aiden Markram from the captaincy. The reason why South Africa lost the 2024 final, now they are going to lose this game, is a big long story. But there are certain reasons why South Africa are not able to win under his captaincy. That's too high, I think, from Matt Henry. Has to reload that one again. Is given as a wide. So the sooner South Africa change their captain, the better for them. If they keep on continuing with Markram, they will keep on facing heartbreaks. Markram will do well in the group stages, but he will falter in the semi-finals and finals, and you don't want that as a South African cricket fan. So if you don't want that, change Aiden Markram, make someone else as the captain. And Janssen goes big, goes miles back, over deep mid-wicket for 6. In the slot from Matt Henry. And Janssen with a clean swing of the bat clears deep mid-wicket, and after a long time a 6 for South Africa here. Fourth ball of the over. That's full again. Janssen hits it down the ground to long on and picks up another single. So Tristan Stubbs is back on strike. This partnership now 45 from 37 balls. Still 21 balls left in this innings. That shot again pulled away by Stubbs. It's in the gap for 4. Found the gap beautifully. Too short on that occasion from Matt Henry. And first boundary for Tristan Stubbs in this innings of the 19th ball that he faces. Nicely played. Two more deliveries left in this over. That's full again. It's hit down the ground towards long on, and Tristan Stubbs picks up another single. 14 runs have come from this over. 50 partnership comes up between these two batters. Partnership of 50 from 39 balls between Tristan Stubbs and Marco Jansen. One more delivery left in this over. Last ball of the over coming up. Oh, that's nice in the block hole. And Jansen digs it out towards point. Picks up another single to finish the over. So 15 runs came from that over from Matt Henry, and South Africa are now 128 for 5 after 17 overs. So Jimmy Neesham is going to be bowling the 18th over here. Marco Jansen is on strike. Jansen on strike. Here's Jimmy Neesham. And that's driven by Jansen towards deep extra covers. And picks up another single to start the over. So Tristan Stubbs is back on strike. Second ball of the over coming up. That's full again. Smashed down the ground by Stubbs. Straight down the ground for 4. In the slot from Jimmy Neesham. And beautifully driven down the ground there by Stubbs. Picks up his second boundary in this innings. Well, that's short and that's punished by Stubbs. All the way for 6. So 4 and a 6 here from Tristan Stubbs. And suddenly now the pressure back on Jimmy Neesham. He's been very expensive of late with the ball. And once again getting targeted here by Tristan Stubbs. So 3 more deliveries left in this over. That's full again, and Stubbs hits it down the ground to long on and picks up another single. Can they reach 170 here, South Africa? Jansen can also go big. Oh, that's flicked past the keeper, and that'll run away for 4. Again angling onto the pads there, Jimmy Neesham. And all Jansen had to do was get bad on it. And it's flown past the keeper into the fence. Second boundary in this over. Expensive over once again from Jimmy Neesham. One more delivery left in this over. Last ball of the over coming up. Oh, that's pulled away again by Jansen, and that's gone all the way as well, is it? Yes, it is. Another 6 to finish the over. Another expensive over from Jimmy Neesham. His slow balls are not working. 22 runs came from that over, and the 150 comes up for South Africa here. South Africa are now 150 for 5 after 18 overs. Two more overs left. Some big last couple of overs going for 37 runs. And that has given South Africa some hope to at least reach 180, which still might not be enough because of Eden Gardens conditions. Lockie Ferguson now is going to be bowling the penultimate over for New Zealand. Tristan Stubbs is on strike. Ferguson coming around the wicket, and he's bowled him straight through Tristan Stubbs, and Lockie Ferguson strikes for New Zealand. Stubbs looking to go for the big shot and has his middle stump rearranged, and that is an important wicket for New Zealand. They have broken this partnership here, a partnership of 73 from 47. Was looking for the big shot there. The cutter from Lockie Ferguson, castling Tristan Stubbs. He's so good at the end as Lockie Ferguson. Picks up another wicket. And South Africa lose their last recognised batter as well. As Tristan Stubbs is gone after scoring 29 from 24 balls, and South Africa are now 150 for 6 after 18.1 overs. So Corbin Bosch is the new batter to the crease for South Africa. We are down to officially the last recognised batting pair, if there was any. Bowling all-rounders. Although Marco Jansen is batting really well, 40 from 24 balls so far. Corbin Bosch can also play the big shots. We have seen it before. But still, I think New Zealand's game, this is New Zealand's game actually, because not enough runs on the board. In these Eden Gardens conditions, these kind of totals are not going to be enough. Second ball of the over coming up. That's cut away by Corbin Bosch towards deep extra covers, and Corbin Bosch gets off the mark with a single. Oh, swings and misses. Jansen unable to make contact. Another dot ball from Lockie Ferguson. That's short this time, and that's muscled over the boundary by Janssen. All the way for 6 over deep mid-wicket. This man can hit a long ball all right. And that was a huge hit from Janssen. Moves to 46 now from just 26 balls. His 4th 6 in this innings. That's full again, and Janssen goes again. Goes all the way again. In the slot once again from Lucky Ferguson. And Janssen is smashing it everywhere. Brings up his half century as well. It's an important innings here under pressure. Team was struggling at one stage at 73 for 5. And from there to play this kind of a knock, 52 from just 27 balls. At a strike rate of 192.49 with 2 boundaries and 5 maximums. Outstanding knock from Janssen. Last ball of the over was another dot ball to finish the over. 13 runs came from that over, including the wicket of Tristan Stubbs. And South Africa are now 163 for 6 after 19 overs. So Matt Henry bowling the last over. That swung away by Janssen. Swung away by Corbin Bosch towards deep mid wicket. And picks up another single to start the over. Second ball of the over coming up. Back over the wicket. Oh, that's flicked away leg side towards deep square leg. Deep mid wicket comes around. It's another single for Marco Janssen. 2 singles to start this over. Still 4 balls left. Many people wanted an India versus South Africa final. Looks like that might not happen this time around. India shouldn't take an easy route to win a World Cup. They should always take the hardest route. Third ball of the over coming up. Oh, that's too wide. Too wide from Matt Henry. Has to reload that one again. Can they get past 170 here? Which still might not be enough, but at least something to bowl at for South Africa. Oh, he's bowled him. What a yorker that is. Right in the block hole from Matt Henry. Castles Corbin Bosch there. And another wicket falls for South Africa. 7th wicket down now. Matt Henry at his best. Bowling it full and straight. You miss, I hit. And Corbin Bosch has to make the long walk back as well. And more importantly for New Zealand, more importantly for South Africa, Marco Janssen will not be on strike. It will be the new batter who will have to come in and face one delivery as well. The Corbin Bosch is gone after scoring 2 runs from 3 balls, and South Africa are now 166 for 7 after 19.3 overs. So Kagiso Rabada is the new batter to the crease now for South Africa, coming in at number 9. Once again, South Africa crumbling here in a match which matters the most. That is why, as I said, remove Aiden Markram from the captaincy. That will solve all your problems. Because I know all the hidden secrets of his captaincy. Fourth ball of the over coming up from Matt Henry. That's in the air again, down to long on and taken again. 2 in 2 for Matt Henry is on a hat-trick. Rabada also has to go, and again Janssen won't be on strike with only 2 balls left in this innings. Getting from bad to worse for South Africa here. Can they cross 170? I don't know. Matt Henry again delivering when it matters the most. A really good catch at long on there by Jimmy Neesham. And 8 down now South Africa. Kagiso Rabada came, and Kagiso Rabada is now going back for a first ball duck. And South Africa are now 166 for 8 after 19.4 overs with 2 more balls to go. So Matt Henry is on a hat-trick. Keshav Maharaj, the new batter to the crease. 2 more deliveries left in this innings. Hat-trick ball coming up. Oh, that's guided away to point, and Maharaj gets off the mark with a single. More importantly, gives a strike to Marco Jansen. So a 6 or a boundary now will take South Africa past 170. The 170 is kind of a psychological mark now. So 1 more delivery left in this innings. Marco Jansen, can he find the boundary? Last ball of the innings. Marco Jansen on strike. That's full. Let's hit down the ground. They might push for 2 here. They are going to go back for 2. Chance of run out at the keeper's end. And I think Jansen has made it back. So they have picked up a couple of runs to finish off. And they finished with 169 runs on the board, which was the exact same total which South Africa got in last year's. This was the exact same total which South Africa got in the 2024 Men's T20 World Cup final as well, when they were chasing above 170. And would you believe it, South Africa have equalled that total once again in the semi-final while batting first. But an excellent last over from Matt Henry. Just 6 runs came from that last over, including 2 wickets. And South Africa finished their 20 overs on 169 for 8 at the end of their 20 overs. And I would say it's been a brilliant bowling performance from New Zealand. They won the toss, elected to bowl first, and they have been clinical with the ball. Marco Jansen unbeaten on 55 from 30 balls. But unfortunately, South Africa just kept on losing wickets. None of their batters could click today. In fact, only 3 batters making notable contributions. Dewald Brevis scored 34 from 27 balls. Tristan Stubbs scored 29 from 24 balls. And Marco Jansen, lower down the order, coming and scoring 55 from 30 with 2 boundaries and 5 sixers at a strike rate of 183.33. But wickets just kept on falling. There was 77 for 5 at one stage. South Africa was 77 for 5. And from there to get to 169, I would say, is a good effort. Courtesy a 6th wicket partnership of 73 from 48 balls between Tristan Stubbs and Marco Jansen helped them to get to this total. But still you feel that this total is a little below par, considering how the Eden Gardens conditions assist the chasing team. So New Zealand have done really well. Pick of the bowlers for New Zealand today. Rachin Ravindra 2 for 29 in his 4 overs. Jimmy Neesham conceded 42 runs in his 3 overs, picking up 1 wicket. Lockie Ferguson again 1 for 29 in his 4 overs. Cole McConkie, what an inspired bowling change, bowled the second over of the innings and picked up 2 for 9 in his 1 over. And Matt Henry also clinical towards the end, 2 for 34 in his 4 overs. Mitchell Santner none for 25 in his 4 overs as well. So New Zealand, to make it to their second T20 World Cup final, will need 170 runs to win this match from their full quota of 20 overs. We'll be back again shortly to cover the run chase. Until then, please stay tuned. So hi guys, welcome back to the run chase here. New Zealand have got off to a very positive start. 19 without loss in 2 overs, chasing 170. They are looking in control of this run chase at the moment. And South Africa, unfortunately, they don't look. It's not looking good for them in this tournament. Many people wanted a South Africa versus India final, but that is not going to happen this time around. And I think that South Africa will be relieved because this too shall pass for them. That is what you need to be saying. Marco Jansen now into his second over. Finn Allen is on strike. It's been a good opening pair this for New Zealand in this tournament, Finn Allen and Tim Seifert. Marco Jansen conceded 11 runs in his first over and into his second over. And Allen goes straight down the ground for 6. In the slot from Jansen, and Finn Allen says thank you very much. Dead straight back past the bowler. And a 6 to start the over. Pressure building here on South Africa. This time it's guided away towards point, and Finn Allen picks up another single. So third ball of the over coming up. Tim Seifert is back on strike. Oh, they're appealing here for a catch. Umpire is unmoved. Are they going to go for the review here? Might have a discussion. A big swing there from Seifert. And Markram does go for the review. So we need to have a look at this. Big shot attempted there from Seifert. Was there a little bit of an inside edge? I'm not quite sure. Flat line as the ball passes the bat, so I think it will be not out. It's hit the pad, but it will be not out because it won't be out LBW because of the height. So Seifert survives. South Africa have lost a review as well. Nothing is going their way as till now. It was an important toss to win as far as New Zealand are concerned. Fourth ball of the over coming up. And Seifert goes for the scoop. Gets it over fine leg. That's all the way as well. All the way for 6. So Tim Seifert also joins in the party. Second 6 of this innings. Second 6 of this over. Very expensive over from Jansen so far. So 13 runs have come from this over, still 2 balls left. Tim Seifert moves to 19 from just 11 balls. The fifth ball of the over coming up. Jansen around the wicket. But doesn't matter. Seifert goes straight back down the ground, past mid-on and into the boundary for 4. 6 and a 4 here from Tim Seifert. And what a start this is for New Zealand. So 17 runs have come from this over so far. Tim Seifert is going at everything here. Required run rate is down to 7.81. Exactly the kind of start you want in this run chase. Last ball of the over coming up. And it's full again. It's hit down the ground to long on. And Tim Seifert picks up another single to finish the over. 18 runs came from that over from Marco Jansen. And New Zealand are now 37 without loss after 3 overs. So there's a bowling change here. Lungisani and Ngidi is the new bowler into the attack. He's been the best bowler for South Africa in this tournament. Tim Seifert on strike. That's full again. It's flicked away past mid-on. And will that run away for 4? No, it won't. I think it'll stop before the boundary. But they'll come back for 3. That's excellent running between the wickets. 3 runs to start the over from Tim Seifert. So required run rate now 7.72. They need wickets here, South Africa, and Lungi Ngidi is the man who has to provide the breakthroughs. Finn Allen is going to be on strike. This time it's defended again by Finn Allen towards covers and picks up another single. The third ball of the over coming up. Need wickets here, South Africa. That's driven down the ground again, but towards mid-off. Another dot ball from Lungi Ngidi. 169 is not going to be enough in these conditions. If you want to defend those kind of totals, you need to get early wickets, but that is also very tough because Eden Gardens batting friendly conditions do also sometimes plays a part in these conditions. Toss plays an important factor. That's full again. Seifert hits it down the ground to long on and picks up another single. So it looks like South Africa's tournament is coming to an end here. And I would say it's good for them. Don't need to lose another final. Better to go out in the semi-final. That's full, smash towards mid-off. Another dot ball from Lungi Ngidi. Last ball of the over. Goes for the scoop. Gets it over deep fine leg. And that's all the way for 6 as well. Another 6 here from Finn Allen. Improvisation at its best. to finish the over. 11 runs came from that over from NKD. And New Zealand off to a flyer here, 48 without loss after 4 overs. Kagiso Rabada is back into the attack, into his second over. Tim Seifert is on strike. Here's Rabada. Oh, that swung leg side again by Seifert. Over mid-wicket. It might not reach the boundary. Fielder pulls it in. 3 runs for Tim Seifert. 50 partnership comes up. 50 comes up for New Zealand. 50 comes up in just 4.1 overs, and at the moment they are looking comfortable here in this run chase. This has been a fantastic opening partnership for New Zealand, no doubt about that. Finn Allen and Tim Seifert, they have played really well in this World Cup, complementing each other. They lost 2 games against South Africa and against England in this World Cup, but both of them, they got thrashed by South Africa in Ahmedabad. Lost very closely against England, but otherwise New Zealand have done really well. And I think they can do something to India if India make it through to the final this time around. If anyone can do something, England are there, New Zealand are there. They need to do something. That's punched away again towards points. And Finn Allen picks up another single. So Seifert is back on strike. Required run rate 7.53 with all your wickets in hand. That's a full delivery again. Seifert hits it down the ground to mid-off. Another dot ball from Rabada. Oh, Seifert goes again and goes all the way again in the slot from Rabada, and Seifert puts him over long on for another maximum, and this is hurting South Africa here big time. Tim Seifert moves to 37 from this 19 balls. Outstanding batting. This time shot again, pulled away by Seifert. 4 more. 6 under 4 from Tim Seifert. He's in a hurry here to get this run chase done and go to Ahmedabad, that is for sure. 2 short on that occasion from Rabada. And Seifert is just enjoying himself here. Last ball of the over again, going for the pull, unable to make contact. Another dot ball to finish the over. 14 runs came from that over from Rabada, and New Zealand are now 62 without loss after 5 overs. So Corbin Bosch is the new bowler into the attack for South Africa. Finn Allen is on strike. And that's cut away by Allen. And has that gone all the way? Yes, it has. All the way for 6 over deep point. Short and wide there from Corbin Bosch. And Finn Allen welcomes him with a maximum to start the over. Pressure on Corbin Bosch straight away. This time it's short, it's pulled away by Allen. 4 more. 6 under 4 to start the over. Corbin Bosch, not a great start to his spell. New Zealand are running away with this run chase. Required run rate down to 6.68 and a target requirement under 100 runs now. Oh, he goes for the cut. Over third man. 4 more. Everything going New Zealand's way here. 6-4-4 to start this over. 14 runs from the first 3 balls of this over already. Still 3 balls left. This time full smash down the ground. 4 more here. You can't stop this man today, Finn Allen. 6-4-4-4. He's finishing this game and this over itself, I think. 18 runs from this over. And basically now the required run rate is down to 6.28. It's getting easier now for New Zealand. Oh, it's sliced over point. 4 more. It's only 6 or a 4 in this over at the moment. 4 consecutive boundaries from Finn Allen. New Zealand are in a hurry here. 22 runs coming from this over. And I think South Africa have to go today. Their campaign is coming to an end surely. That's a short ball and Finn Allen ducks underneath it. Another dot ball to finish the over. 22 runs came from that over and New Zealand are now 84 without loss after 6 overs after the launch phase. And it's also the time for the drinks break. So we come to the end of the drinks break, and the new bowler into the attack now for South Africa is Keshav Maharaj, bowling the 7th over, and has driven back to the bowler. Dot ball to start from Maharaj. But basically these two openers have killed the game in the launch phase itself. Required run rate is only 6.22 with all the wickets in hand. And unfortunately though for South Africa, it's very tough to win it from here. That's down the ground, looking for the single. Good fielding actually at mid-wicket. Another dot ball from Maharaj. That's cut away by Seifert, finds the gap. That's 4 more, no one back there on the offside. And another boundary for Tim Seifert. With on offer there from Maharaj, smashed away by Seifert to the boundary. This time Seifert hits it down the ground to long off and picks up another single. 5 runs have come from this over, still 2 balls left. Finn Allen is back on strike. Quicker ball again, and Finn Allen hits it down the ground to long on and picks up another single. Last ball of the over, Seifert goes down the ground to long off and picks up another single to finish the over. 7 runs came from that over from Maharaj, and New Zealand are now 91 without loss after 7 overs. Lungisani and Gidi back into the attack into his 2nd over. That's a full toss flicked away by Seifert. Down the ground to long on. They're going to push for 2. Yes, they are. Oh dear, misfield there. Couple of runs for Seifert. Moves to 49 now. The equation is down to a runner ball for New Zealand. They're going to be making it through to the final to face the winner of tomorrow's match between India and England. I think mostly India might win tomorrow, although it's very tough to predict. England have also played good cricket, but I think some external factors might favor India tomorrow. We need to see that. 2nd ball of the over coming up. Oh, it's edged over 3rd man, and that'll run away for 4. Half century for Tim Seifert. 53 from just 28 balls. He continues his form with the bat. 6 boundaries and 2 sixers at a strike rate of 189.29. What a knock this has been from Tim Seifert. Equation now under a runner ball for New Zealand. The 3rd ball of the over coming up. Goes for the flick shot. It's off the bats, and Seifert picks up another single. One leg byes it is for Seifert. So 3 more deliveries left in this over. It's driven away again by Finn Allen towards deep extra covers and picks up another single. Seifert is back on strike. Oh, that's full. That's driven beautifully by Seifert. Beats long off into the boundary for 4. Just enjoying themselves. Second boundary in this over. 100 comes up for New Zealand. 100 partnership also comes up between these two batters. 100 comes up in just 7.5 overs. Just 67 more needed now for New Zealand. Oh, that's a slow ball. Seifert looking for the big flick shot, unable to make connection. Another dot ball to finish that over. So 12 runs came from that over from Lungi and Gedi, and New Zealand are now 103 without loss after 8 overs. So Keshav Maharaj now into his second over. Finn Allen on strike. Goes for the paddle. Gets it towards deep fine leg. That'll run away for 4 as well. Everything that these two batters touch is only going to the boundary. Another boundary to start the over. And New Zealand asserting their authority. This time another quicker ball, punch down the ground. Punch down the ground to long off, picks up another single, half century for Finn Allen. 50 from just 19 balls with 6 boundaries and 3 sixers at a strike rate of 263.16. Another fantastic knock. This time Seifert again punches it down the ground to long on, picks up another single, 61 more needed now. Could this be New Zealand's World Cup? Although still final is there. Winner of tomorrow's match. Oh, that's pulled away by Allen, and that's all the way as well. Another 6. Short on that occasion from Maharaj. And Allen deposits it again over deep mid-wicket. For another maximum. It's running away from South Africa very quickly. 55 more needed for New Zealand. This time Allen cuts it away straight to covers. Another dot ball from Maharaj. Last ball of the over coming up. This time again cut away by Allen towards deep extra covers. Good fielding at deep extra covers. They'll come back for 2. Another couple of runs to finish the over. 14 runs came from that over. And New Zealand are now 117 without loss after 9 overs. So Kagiso Rabada is back into the attack, into his third over. Tim Seifert on strike. Oh, he's bowled him. So finally a breakthrough here. It might just be too late for South Africa, but a breakthrough from Rabada there. Big swing there from Seifert, losing his middle stump. And New Zealand lose their first wicket. Middle stump going for a toss. Tim Seifert, a fantastic knock, comes to an end. 58 from just 33 balls. But he has to go. Rabada picking up his first wicket of the day. Tim Seifert is gone after scoring a magnificent 58 from 33 balls. And New Zealand are now 117 for 1 after 9.1 overs. It might just be too late because only 53 more runs needed for New Zealand, but what an opening partnership. Once again, a crucial match, semi-final, and the openers delivering for New Zealand. And unfortunately though for South Africa, for those who had the hopes of watching an India versus South Africa final, commiserations to all of you because South Africa unfortunately will be going out today. But this is the problem, isn't it? This is exactly the problem with South Africa, because every time they get themselves to a semi-final or a final, yes, they won the World Test Championship, but in World Cups, this has been a big problem. Second ball of the over coming up from Rabada. That's driven down the ground by Rachin Ravindra towards mid-off. Another dot ball from Rabada. This time back of the length, flicked away by Rachin Ravindra, gets off the mark with a single. That's on the pads, flicked away by Finn Allen, picks up another single. Oh, that's driven beautifully by Ravindra, and that races away for 4. Sweet timing of the middle of the bat, and Rachin Ravindra picks up his first boundary in this innings. So last ball of the over coming up. That shot again pulled away by Ravindra down towards deep mid wicket and picks up another single to finish the over. 7 runs came from that over. The New Zealand are now 124 for 1 after 10 overs. A similar story, unbeaten in the group stage, unbeaten in the Super 8. but not able to deliver when it matters the most. This has been a story for South Africa. They're going to be going out in the semi-final, and New Zealand will be defeating South Africa for the first time in the Men's T20 World Cup history. They haven't done it till now. They'll be doing it here on the biggest of stages, biggest of occasions, the World Cup semi-final. Corbin Bosch is back into the attack, conceded 22 runs in his first over. Rachin Ravindra on strike. And that's flicked down the ground, past mid-on. That'll be for more. Raining boundaries even after a wicket has fallen. Runs are flowing here. Ravindra picks up his second boundary. The second ball of the over coming up. That's driven again down the ground to mid-on. Another dot ball from Rachin Ravindra. I just want to give an example to some of the Indian fans who keep on saying Ahmedabad is an unlucky ground for them. What about Eden Gardens, Kolkata? South Africa, this is the second semi-final they are going to lose at Eden Gardens. If anyone remembers the 2023 World Cup semi-final, South Africa lost to Australia at this same venue, Eden Gardens, Kolkata, in that World Cup. And now again here losing in the semi-final to New Zealand. So how will South Africa feel for losing two semi-finals in Eden Gardens? As driven down the ground again by Rachin Ravindra towards mid-off and picks up another single. So Finn Allen now back on strike. 3 more deliveries left in this over. Fourth ball of the over coming up. Oh, that swung away. A little bit of an inside edge towards deep mid wicket, and Finn Allen picks up another single. This time Ravindra hits it leg side, down the ground to mid-on, and picks up another single. Seven runs have come from this over, still 1 ball left, only 39 more needed for New Zealand. Last ball of the over. Oh, and Allen smashes that one out of the ground for another 6. Length ball from Corbin Bosch, and Finn Allen deposits that over deep mid wicket for another maximum to finish that over. And I think Finn Allen is struggling with some cramps here as well. 13 runs came from that over from Corbin Bosch. And New Zealand are now 137 for 1 after 11 overs. So looks like Finn Allen is struggling with cramps. He's played a long knock, 65 from 25 balls with 6 boundaries and 5 sixers. At a strike rate of 260, they still need him for the final. And if he's injured like this, don't know whether it's a good sign. Devon Conway backup is still there for New Zealand if needed for the final. Because they're going to make it through to the final, no doubt about that. Finn Allen is up on his feet. That's a good thing. That's a good sign for New Zealand because they would need him for the final, particularly when he's batting like this. So Keshav Maharaj now continuing into the attack into his third over. Nothing much now remaining for South Africa, just 33 needed for New Zealand. They're absolutely bossing this in good batting conditions. 169 was very below par, no doubt about that. They should have gotten themselves to 220 probably in these conditions. That's driven leg side towards mid wicket. Again a dot ball to start the over. This time punched back to the bowler by Ravindra. Another dot ball. This time cut away by Rachin Ravindra down the ground to long off and picks up another single. Finn Allen is back on strike. The fourth ball of the over coming up. And it's flicked away by Allen towards deep mid wicket. Deep square leg, 4 more. Cramps or no cramps, Finn Allen knows to play one way. And he picks up another boundary here, getting closer and closer to the target now. This time it's short, it's dispatched over deep mid wicket for 6. They're in a hurry to get this done with. Might finish it in the next 3 overs or so, I think. Another 6 for Allen, moves to 75 now. Last ball of the over. That's pulled down the ground towards long off. And Finn Allen picks up another single to finish the over. 12 runs came from that over. And New Zealand are now 149 for 1 after 12 overs. Marco Jansen back into the attack and Allen again greets him with another boundary. 150 comes up for New Zealand. 150 comes up in just 12.1 overs. Finn Allen with his 8th boundary this innings. Again starting the over with a boundary. A superb scoop shot there from Allen. Second ball of the over coming up. They are looking to finish it in the next 2 overs. Don't even want to go to the next drinks break, I think. As if there is some net run rate involved. They're in a hurry here. Back over the wicket, Jansen. That's full and on the pads. Flicked away. 4 more. No chance for any fielder. Deep mid-wicket. Only watches it go to the boundary. Back-to-back boundaries from Allen here. Moves to 84 from 30 balls. Is there any chance for him to get to 100? That's short and that's dispatched as well. That's massive. All the way over deep mid-wicket for another maximum. Finn Allen moves into the 90s with that 6. 4-4-6 to start the overs. Down to single digits now. Just 7 needed for victory. Well, 3 more deliveries left in this over. 10 runs needed for Allen to get to his century, which he might be calculating, I think. Goes again, down the ground. 6 more. Fielders watch it sail over. Back-to-back sixes. Scores are level now for New Zealand. Finn Allen needs 1 more hit to get to his century here. "20 runs from this over already. Just 1 more run needed now for New Zealand. Finn Allen needs another boundary for a century. 3-figure mark in a World Cup semi-final. New balls, please. New Zealand are going through to the final. South Africa's tournament is done. Good tournament. But as always, the semi-finals and finals are something very different when it comes to South Africa. What an innings this has been from Finn Allen. 96 from just 32 balls. It could be the fastest World Cup century if he can get this. 1 more run to win. That smash down the ground. Pass mid off. 4 more. He gets the 100. He gets the 100. Would you believe it? A century to remember for Finn Allen. 33 ball century. And New Zealand are through to the Men's T20 World Cup 2026 final. The first team to make it through to the final. 4-4-6-6-4 to finish it off. The fastest century in the Men's T20 World Cup semi-final for Finn Allen. What a knock this has been. Completely outplayed South Africa in all departments. And it's also New Zealand's first win against South Africa in the Men's T20 World Cup history as well. It was 5-0 in favour of South Africa before this clash. And now New Zealand have got one past South Africa here. Smashing it to all parts today, Finn Allen. Injury or no injury, doesn't matter as far as Finn Allen are concerned. Doesn't matter doesn't matter for Finn Allen. Just smashing it. He's going to be playing for the Kolkata Knight Riders at this venue at the end of this month. And he's showing KKR what he is capable of with the bat in these conditions. Particularly at Eden Gardens. It's going to be his home ground in the upcoming IPL season. 33 ball century. He'll remember this for quite a long time. No doubt about that. 10 boundaries and 8 sixers at a strike rate of 303.03. And unfortunately though, South Africa never had a chance to defend this target. New Zealand have completely bossed this, completely outplayed South Africa in all 3 departments. And once again, South Africa's white ball World Cups knockouts curse continues for them. Many people were talking about an India versus South Africa final, but South Africa have been sent home in the semi-finals itself. A good campaign for South Africa. They outplayed India, defeated India in the group stage, but unfortunately just not able to deliver when it matters the most. New Zealand winning this semi-final, the first semi-final. New Zealand winning the first semi-final by 9 wickets and booking their place in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup final for the second time. They made it to the final earlier in 2021 and lost the final against Australia there. And they have made it through to the final once again, Men's T20 World Cup, and they will be facing the winner of tomorrow's match between India and England. But what a knock we have witnessed today. Absolutely unbelievable. Brutal power hitting from Finn Allen. And South Africa unfortunately just couldn't play to their best potential today. Happens, isn't it? They were the only unbeaten team in this tournament coming into this semi-final, but South Africa in this big semi-final day have been completely outplayed. We'll just have a look at the New Zealand. We'll just recap the New Zealand innings. An opening partnership of 117 runs from just 55 balls between Tim Seifert and Finn Allen. And then Kagiso Rabada picked up the wicket of Tim Seifert, but it was all too late. And then Finn Allen, he was struggling with cramps in the middle, but cramps or no cramps, doesn't matter for him. A 33-ball century. And that has taken New Zealand through to the final, winning it by 9 wickets with more than 7 overs to spare. If there was a net run rate calculation tonight, New Zealand's net run rate would have skyrocketed somewhere, but it is a semi-final, so net run rate doesn't matter. But what a knock this has been from Finn Allen. Can New Zealand go all the way? Only time will tell, but they will be facing the winner of tomorrow's match between India and England. A comprehensive win for New Zealand, the first time they have defeated South Africa in the Men's T20 World Cup history. So plenty of firsts actually as far as New Zealand are concerned. They have defeated South Africa for the first time in the Men's T20 World Cup. It's 5-1 now, still in favour of South Africa, but New Zealand have got the win against South Africa in the T20 World Cup, and they'll be going into the final with a lot of confidence here. As far as South Africa are concerned, they are still yet to defeat New Zealand in an ICC knockout match. That is one streak which is still unbroken. Because if you look at all the historical clashes, the knockouts clash between these two teams, 2011 World Cup quarter-final, South Africa lost to New Zealand in Dhaka. That clash was happening in Bangladesh, I guess, I think, if you rewind back there. 2011 World Cup quarter-final, South Africa lost to New Zealand and they crashed out. 2015 ODI World Cup semi-final at Eden Park in Auckland, again South Africa lost to New Zealand in that semi-final and they crashed out. And then Champions Trophy semi-final last year, 2025 Champions Trophy semi-final, again South Africa lost to New Zealand. And now again here, Men's T20 World Cup 2026 semi-final, New Zealand have defeated South Africa. So South Africa are yet to defeat New Zealand in an ICC knockout match so far. And even if you look at the Women's World Cups, the Women's T20 World Cup 2024 final, there also New Zealand have defeated South Africa. So there's something about New Zealand that South Africa are not able to breach when it comes to ICC knockouts. And I guess South Africa have to look into that. I mean, South Africa are not able to beat India also in ICC knockouts. Now, New Zealand has also become another problem for them. Australia is also, South Africa defeated Australia in the World Test Championship final of 2025. But India and New Zealand continue to haunt South Africa in ICC knockouts. And if South Africa are not going to beat these two teams in ICC knockouts, their trophy, their World Cup wait will still continue. That is for sure. But as far as New Zealand are concerned, They will go into the final with a lot of confidence. Imagine chasing down a target of 117, just 13 overs. So it will give them a lot of confidence. And they'll be making their way to Ahmedabad, another batting paradise in Ahmedabad it will be. So New Zealand, if they can produce this kind of a batting performance in the final, we could see a new champion in this tournament. And if New Zealand can win this tournament, they will be having the women's T20 title and the men's T20 title at the same time. So that history is also in the making for New Zealand if they can win this men's T20 World Cup. So everything to play for in the final for New Zealand, winning this match by 9 wickets, outplaying South Africa. They are into the final of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026. So we'll be back again to cover tomorrow's semi-final between India and England. So until we come back again, please like, share and subscribe to our channel Runs and Views. Take care guys, cheers and good night.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share.